Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with DVD. How you doing? This is going to be my episode recap of Basketball Wives Season 12, Episode 2. I think they've only had 2 episodes. Well, the episode opens up and we have Ev and Brittany. Brittany is dating. It's not dating. Her coochie is cold. But it's time to warm it up because Kevin Gates has been in the background the whole time. A married man. But she is in the throes of Islam at this time. So she's wearing her hijab faithfully. She wears her hijab to work out. She wears her hijab to do this, that, and the other. Now, when I tell you that all religion has so many restrictions and it causes a human being not to be free, look at the way she is dressing. But I'll tell you this. That damn hijab comes a long way from the way she was dressing last season. My point is, to me, religion does not allow you to have the freedoms that you wish. I had made a post the other day, and this post says that Leviticus 11 tells you not to eat from the pig and not to eat from the ocean and not. Now, what kind of God that loves you will restrict you from nourishing your body? Isn't that what you always say in the Christian prayers? You pray over the food so all these things can nourish your body. God, I want to thank you for the food we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies. And then you have the other religion that say you're not supposed to eat it. Eat and be merry. Everything in moderation is what I always say. Because if it's edible, you should eat it. And that includes when you go in the depths of the jungles of Africa and the Amazon and all these places, they fucking eat. You know why they eat? Because they are spiritual and not religious. If a damn anaconda rolls up on those people in the Amazon and they look at each other like, oh, yeah, okay. Let's cut up this. Let's cut up this. In other words, let's cut this damn anaconda up before he eat us. Let's eat him. They eat monkey, y'all. Okay. Then we see these videos that come on Facebook, and they telling these people, "Oh, I wouldn't eat that. I wouldn't, because you ever eat in horse head? I wouldn't eat a horse head. No, no. But oh boy was frying up him a horse head. Why was he frying up him horse head? Because it's edible. And that was the problem in America when the European came, putting all these dietary restrictions, whereas the damn Indians or Native Americans ate off the land. Buffalo, deer, caribou, moose, whatever the fuck. And it's all meat. Out the ocean, out the lakes, out the streams. Child, don't get me started. But anyway, Brandy, we get to Brandy and Brandy talks to her. When I tell you Brandy mama is gorgeous to me, that lady keep that damn pixie cut laid. Do you hear me? And she's talking to her mom about Jason, of course. He got to go. I'm so sick of Jason. His behavior has turned his ass old. So Elle meets with Brandy. And they have made new connections because neither one of them really have a storyline. So it's time for them to meet up and talk to each other because why not? So Ty comes to the meeting as well. So Ty and Brandy. Ty and Brandon has chemistry. But I'm just going to tell you like I tell the rest of them. Ty is for the streets. Okay? She is the male version of Evelyn. Or should I say the stud version of Evelyn. And the female version of who run through videos and shows from show to show to show to show, picking up lovers as they go. I'll think of it in a minute. But my point is, y'all, Claudia made this very clear on when she was on that revamped TGI Fridays, that this girl gets on shows, date the finest women, and date the women with money. So she can be on what? Make appearances on this show. She's an actual cast member on this show, though. So she tells them she don't know what her and Ming are doing, because Ming is saying that she want to be friends, but you know that was her person at one time. But now Ming is treating her some kind of way because of a situation. Yeah, that situation was Drew's door, and we about to find out more. Let's move right on along. So, oh, by the way, Ty is a coach now, and she coaches the Chicago Sky. I think so. Now, let me be honest with y'all. Back in the day when St. Cooper and Swoops and all of them didn't have to go overseas to play basketball, I was so into the WNBA. Then I fell off, and then we have Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Y'all, let's keep it real. Let's be real about the whole situation and honest. We are glad to see it, right? We are glad to see that we have new and exciting adventures awaiting the WNBA, and why not? I want to see it. I want to see more WNBA players on this show, because hell, them basketball wives ain't giving us basketball wife. I said what I said. So she tells Elle how Ming was her person and they were supposed to get married, and all these things were supposed to happen after 9 months of dating. Boy, them lesbians, they move fast, don't they? And gay men, because gay men will, hop from dick to dick, just like, straight men hop from cooter to cooter. I said what I said. So Jackie and Ming in a scene right after this, because it makes it seem like well, you know what, whoever that editor is at Basketball Wives, y'all cannot sleep on this editing, because unlike the Real Housewives show, you get sequential order, and then you see the contrast and comparisons together in the next scene, because it makes so much sense that even though that could have been taped weeks apart, it makes so much sense that the next scene is with Ming and Jackie. Jennifer didn't come. They talked to her on the phone, but it makes sense because, for the simple fact, now we know Ming's version of events between she and Ty. So, to pop things out, because Jackie is moving and a shaker, baby. Say what you want to say about Jackie O'Neal. Jackie O'Neal, Simpson, Smith, Christie. I'm just giving out names, child. I don't know who literally. I don't know how many of them 444 men she was in her previous marriage last names. I'm just being light. But Jackie feels some kind of way because Chantel didn't invite her to her wedding. See, that's how you warm bitches up, right? You get all the information and the tea out of them by spilling your own tea. But you give it a little light, like a little sprinkle, or should I say a little sprinkle tinkle. Shout out to that guy who say blocker. I don't know his name, but he got a tattoo on his face, and him and his wife always eat. You just give it a little light to see if they gonna come on in and spill their own tea. And see, Jackie is an expert at that, because what? Ming gives it all to her. She tells her about she and Ty, and then she calls Jennifer, right? So Jennifer gets on the phone and she's like, I am not going to be a lapdog for anybody any longer, because I was a lapdog for Evelyn for 22 years. Now remember, in an interview, Jennifer has said that she don't up with Evelyn because Evelyn has never had a man. What? Evelyn has had many men. None of them loyal and faithful to her, but I mean, we're not gonna act like sit over here and act like Christian is a dime. I'm not gonna let her talk about my relationship. She needs to worry about her own relationships. Okay, well, don't let her talk about your relationship. So Christian is in the background, right? Him looking like one of those characters off of what's the name of that movie? Is it Return of the Mac? When they had to dress in all snowball suits and that dude went to prison because he was a apist. The last movie I saw with my children's father. Why the hell can't I think of the name of that movie? Was it Return of the Mac? Oh, what? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So he looked like one of the snowballs. And Christian says that he got some information that he wants to share about Miss Kiki. And Kiki is Carl's cousin, by the way. Didn't I tell you Ming was about to spill the tea? Then she talks about her 91 adventures with IVF. And she has a story to tell. If you know what I'm saying. The kid's name is Story. And she has a story to tell. Did you get that? Anyway, she has the baby was there. She spent 91 days trying to get the baby here. She tried to give her life, and when she said when she got money, she wanted to be a mother. See, she's telling the story, right? And saying that she wanted to be a mother, she went through the IVF process, and the little girl was a little bit premature because she had the baby at 34 weeks. But she's feisty, and everything in her world surrounds her story. So, Ming gets into a little more information about her life with Ty. And then Jennifer talks about how she feels like Evelyn is an obsessed fan at this point. Now, Evelyn is an obsessed fan because Evelyn ain't got shit going on. I keep telling you. So we get to the next scene, and Chantel wants her baby to be a supermodel. Have you ever thought about it? Because he's bad. He's a bad boy. But she invites her mama. Now, why did why did Chantel invite her mama to this photo shoot when she knows damn well how she was? She know how she was when she was modeling. Jackie has a takeover spirit. I wish that my children understood how hovering is beneficial to them. It's not a thing of, it's not like Jackie want to raise that baby. Jackie too busy running them behind Doug. Y'all, when I tell y'all I was so surprised that Jackie came on this show and Doug barely feels with her because she want to be up under him 24/7. Brandon meets with Jerry and they talk about the seasonings. Not much to see here. Ming and Ty meet. Child, when I tell you the lesbians are fighting, but it's so subtle. You cheated on me. You talked to somebody for 3,000. You talked to somebody for 3,000 hours. No, you had a man you were talking to. You went across seas and you talked to this man on the phone, and y'all was making plans to do. Well, what this sounds like to me is Ming and Ty came on this show with a plan. I licked your cuckoo a couple of times, and we're gonna bring it to the show and act as if we were fucking serious about each other at some point. When all actuality, all I did was introduce you to bisexuality, because it seems like Ty is very an expert at doing this thing because she did it with Drew, allegedly. According to Ralph, these phone calls were not just phone calls. Drew was cheating. Now, according to me, Drew had an emotional affair with Ty. Now, Ming did not say they actually did the do, right? But she does feel like it was an emotional affair. And I don't care how many laws that you come up with in your head. I don't care if she spent 50 days and 50 nights talking to her and 3,000 hours and 700 minutes talking to her on a cell phone or whatever they were doing. That does not constitute adultery in America. What constitutes adultery in America is licky and sticky. Now, does emotional affairs, talking for 50,000 minutes on a cell phone, can it be introduced into evidence where things can be questionable? Of course. But the law says adultery is licky and sticky. Until that law changes, there was no actual cheating according to the law. So Jen, am I skipping something? My notes. Chantel calls Dougie in the next scene. And she's like, your mother has a takeover spirit. I mean, Chantel has this type of voice where she has a mixture of Jackie's voice and her own voice, right? And so she's talking to the brother about how horrible of a mother Jackie is and how she hovers. Jackie is that way with everything. She's upset you didn't tell the lady you would get married. You didn't invite the lady to the wedding. And then you decide that you want to call your baby brother, who shares DNA with Jackie, to talk shit about Jackie on tape. Now, when me and my sister used to talk bad about my mom behind her back, we used to talk about her to each other. But the thing about it is we had a triangular situation. I'm sure they used to talk about me to each other as well. Because, I'm a little hovering. I have a little hovering, a little small takeover spirit myself, I have to admit. But this should not be a big deal to Chantel. But, of course, Chantel looks at this as some kind of flaw that Jackie has. And she must talk to people about it. So Jen, Christian, and Jackie meet. Jen is dressed to the nines with some kind of, it looks like, you know what it looks like to me that she has on? You know how like after you eat a muffin or a cupcake, and it should look like she ate a muffin or a cupcake and she just slapped it on the dress. That's what it looks like to me. So, Christian has proof, right? He shows Jackie the proof. And Jackie, Jackie, you've been on the show for 82 years. Why are you still dressing bad? And so, there's Christian looking like a snowball from the Snowball gang on that movie. I think it's The Godfather, Return of the Mac. The last note. Why can't I think? It's the Mac. No, it's not the Mac. Why can't I think of the name of that damn movie? Now, if I look it up, I have to turn off my damn filming to look it up, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so anyway, he looking like a snowball character, and Christian goes on to talk about the information about Carl's cousin, and he's like, well, she talked to me as if I were her friend, and he has text messages to prove it. Now, Christian says he does not trade for free. Y'all, why did I have to end up being on Snowball's side? Because he's right. What the hell kind of trading would you be doing if he had to tell her up front about the $1,500 fee, right? Even though he was acting all frothy and acting like, $1,500 ain't shit to me. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was acting at some point. But the breakdown in this scene makes sense. Y'all, If you're going to day trade with a former felon, this is the kind of shit you get. Okay, maybe he wasn't clear with her, maybe he wasn't as upfront as he needed to be, but she talked as if that she had his back. Coming on the show, which Evelyn opened the door to allow her to have that little scene on the show because it looked like she was being thirsty. I'm just gonna keep it real, because he was like, now you got to pay your fee to trade. Okay, so what's the problem here? That sounds like it all makes sense. And so, of course, Jackie is gathering it all up, doing what Jackie does, right? So they talk about Evelyn again. And then she says, well, why is she worried about my man when her daughter has married a fella? Y'all, if y'all don't leave that damn lady alone, she survived Tim from Miss Robbie show. If she could survive Tim and getting her Range Rover stolen and that man riding around Atlanta in her Range Rover, leave Joe Camel alone. That's what I'll do. That's what I did to my best friend when she said she was going to go to Jamaica and marry. After she slipped off and married him in front of the Justice of the Peace, they decided they wanted to go to Jamaica to renew their vows. For what? Hell, y'all ain't been married but 2.5 minutes. And she goes anyway. Renews her vows. I think they were married for like 5 years. Did I have when I told you so, Spirit? Nope. Did he act crazy most of the time? Yep. Did he come to her house? Never put his hands on her, but he did things. This is also abuse, y'all. He did little shit. Come to the house. Break some shit. Break a vase. Like, I don't think this vase was broken when I left. Throw cards all over the house. Uno cards. Mix them up. Y'all, when I tell you that that's cuckoo for cuckoo cuckoo and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs type shit, don't get me started. And when Zama Fall said people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, at this point, Alva's throwing stones out of Clyde's house. Yes, she is. But what kind of friend wouldn't tell you how they feel? What kind of friends are y'all for 20 years? She gonna tell you about how she felt about Chad, and you won't listen to her about the snowball. While I do say, let her. Y'all ready for the thing that my grandmama used to say? Did I tell y'all about it? Let her bump her ass on the ground like a frog, and let her come to her own realization about this dude, because her head is in the clouds. Leave her alone. So Brandon talks to John, and the next thing, Brandon talks to dumbass Jason. She's trying to get good information from dumbass Jason. She's disgusted with him at this point. He has enough nerve to say, well, I put some seasonings on my food and it didn't taste like much of nothing. She say, is this bitch kidding? Is he joking? Is he serious? What the hell is he talking about? What the hell does he mean it didn't taste like much of nothing? Say what now? How come I'm in my soundproof booth in my car and I can still hear my young? And y'all probably can too. I mean, what was going on here? Was he trying to give an honest analysis? This man has cheated on this woman 50-some times that we know of. Okay? That ping has more miles on it than a highway jet. No different than how people are trying to shame Alex Fine for getting with Cassie. It takes a strong man, in my opinion, while people are calling him a simp, to get with a woman who has been prostituted out like Diddy did Cassie, allegedly. So, male toots can still get women. How's that? If you don't go on and get with Ty and get you some basketball cooler outside of Jason, I know something. By the way, I think Ty and her make a better couple than Ty and Ming. Did y'all see how Ming faces squalls together? What is going on with that? And they say she looked like a... I don't follow Ming yet. I'm gonna have to start following her. But they say she looks like a regular black woman before all of this squalls together face. So now it's time for Ev to get some more storyline, right? Now, that's one thing I can say about Ev and Jackie. If they don't have anything going on, they do know how to push the story. Why? Because they are experts. Hell, they're veterans. So they decided to get with Ev. And see, Ev can move a story along because what she will do is get with the youngins so she can get them on her side. She's always been able to do that. So she gets them together and they're talking about Jen, of course. And Ming say, I'm trying to stay Switzerland, but I'm going to tell you this. You know, she's talking about you dating, your daughter dating a felon while you talking about her. But I'm Switzerland, so I'm going to tell you anyway. And Evelyn drops the bomb and says they're not married. Chantel's looking like, oh my goodness. Well, then Ming is more Switzerland, and she tells Chantel about how Jackie is disappointed that she didn't get to come to her wedding or plan her wedding. And this must have crushed Chantel. Oh, I didn't invite my mom on purpose. I know what I'm doing. She has a tendency to take over things. I know my mama, she getting a confession. I know my mama then over here telling people my damn business. Yes, she did tell people her business because you on the show. Now, would I tell y'all that I agree with Chantel about some things dealing with Jackie? I can't say that you don't know how to let your mama push this story along in order for it to be a show for you to be on. Let mama work, okay? And then Ev says in confession, well, I know how Jackie is in a friendship, so I can only imagine what she's like to be a mother. And you can't talk. I say this though, Ming ain't doing a very good job of being Switzerland, because baby, when I tell you that she got into them little threw in them little nuggets as if she had been doing this for 17 years. So Chantel finally gets her way. Everybody on the cast meets for the roast course. She's happy. Everybody's getting along. And y'all, Ming and Ty go against each other on the roast course. Well, the sexual chemistry is there, but before they get there, Evelyn has to tell Ty about Brandy having a crush on her. Y'all, when I tell you, I told you in my mind that Brandy and Ty would look good because they both tall, right? And I think Ty could teach her some things. But look, I'm going to say this. Ty has spread that cooler or that strap on throughout Atlanta, around and around and around. I'll say this. If she's going to get with a fragile Brandy, I don't think she should be messing up what's going on in this group. While I would love to see it, Brandy is too fragile to have competition within the group with Ming over there. Because Ming is territorial. I don't think Ming even wants to be in a lesbian relationship anymore. But I could say this. She probably won't want somebody in her group to have Ty, nor would she want anybody else to have Ty, because she wants to keep that just a little bit of a hook in her, so she could reel it back in at will. And I think Ty knows that. But y'all, that's just like over there on Married to Medicine when they had Steve on the team. Did y'all think that team was gonna lose with Ty? Ty's athletic. Duh. So Chantel is upset because now it's time for Mama to work. When they sit down for dinner, Jackie does her thing. Well, everything was going bad at my Friendsgiving. So now that we're here and we all in the room, Jen, Evelyn, I think it's time for y'all to address y'all issues. What, Mom? Do they have to do that here? Hell yeah, they have to do it here. Because somebody got to do it. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. So Jen and Elle go for it. So I heard what you said. What part? Well, I heard you said my daughter is dating a felon. Your husband is currently stealing people's money. Well, kind of sort of the game, while you were kind of bragging about them dating, he kind of sort of is a felon right now. I mean, he did get his mansion taken for violating a woman. So, I think they both felons. So, are we sitting here comparing felon for felon? Don't you talk about my daughter. Because if you keep talking about Shanice and bringing my daughter into this, you won't be able to walk around LA. That's a threat, y'all. That was a threat on TV. And you don't have kids, so you don't know what it's like to have a daughter to protect. And then Jennifer says, well, you keep talking about my husband. And so as long as you're talking about my husband and you're talking greasy about my husband, then I can say what I want to say about you and your daughter. Well, if you keep on talking about my daughter, then it's going to be a problem. And let me just say this. You don't even have a husband. Ooh, shucky ducky. Y'all went to Paris to have a party. And the episode ends there. And they pick back up at the damn, what you call that place? At the Rose Course place. Y'all, I just have to say, this season of basketball, why is he up? I don't know. I don't know if it's what's her name? The one that run the show. Yeah, Shanisha. What's her name? Y'all, menopause. The Shawnee Pastor Henderson wife. That's a whole nother story altogether. Baby, it'll be good if she could come to the show and we talk about how he was hushing the people up downstairs church, and then he wouldn't let the people in when they had those storms down in Houston. But let me just give y'all a hint about Houston. Houston is like a damn mini Miami. Or should I say is Miami bigger than Houston? Anyway, it's a lot of places surrounded by water. So if you running the church down there to the Houston, you need to let the people in when it start flooding down there, because it's a mess. And that's going to end. That's what made me not want to go to Houston no damn more, because for the heavy rains and shit, you could barely get out of the area. On the highways, the main highways. Y'all, when I tell you, that was my one and only time going to Houston. Let's need to hit no damn. Come on in, like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button, and you will be notified when I upload a video. Drop down in the comments and talk to me about how you feel about Ev and Jennifer. Whose side are you on? Who is the bigger felon? The day trader or the night trader? Is it fair game for Jennifer to call the game a felon when Shanice is technically not on the show as a wife? Well, she can't go for Ev because Ev don't have anything going on, in my opinion. But you let me know how you feel about that. And as I do when I close, I'm going to chunk them up. Deuces.